Welcome to the Discourse Analyzer AI Toolkit, where articles come alive. You're listening to the audio version of our article. For the full text and an interactive experience, check out the link in the description below. Interact with any selection using our AI assistant to enhance your understanding. Let's explore.
Brand identity in discourse analysis. Interactive assistant brand identity refers to how a company or product is perceived by consumers, stakeholders, and the public. It encompasses the values, personality, and visual elements that distinguish a brand from its competitors and create a unique image in the marketplace. In discourse analysis, brand identity is examined through the language used in advertising, marketing, corporate communications, and consumer interactions to understand how language constructs, reinforces, or challenges the brand's image. Discourse analysis of brand identity focuses on how companies use language to craft narratives about who they are, what they stand for, and how they want to be perceived. This includes analyzing the linguistic choices that reflect brand values, appeal to target audiences, and create emotional connections with consumers. Through slogans, advertisements, social media posts, and official statements, discourse analysis uncovers how language shapes brand identity and aligns it with consumer desires, societal trends, and cultural norms. Key features of brand identity in discourse analysis. 1. Narrative construction and storytelling. A key aspect of brand identity is the construction of a narrative that tells the story of the brand, its origins, mission, and values. Discourse analysis focuses on how these stories are told through language and how they connect emotionally with the audience. Example: a sportswear brand might create a narrative about overcoming challenges, using language like, "born from a relentless drive to push beyond limits," in advertisements. Discourse analysis would explore how the brand's story of perseverance aligns with its identity as a performance-oriented, competitive brand that resonates with athletes and fitness enthusiasts. 2. Rhetorical strategies and persuasion. Brands often use rhetorical strategies to persuade consumers to identify with their values, products, or services. Discourse analysis examines how language appeals to emotion, pathos, logic, logos, or credibility, ethos, to shape how the brand is perceived. Example: an eco-friendly brand might use pathos by saying, "Help us protect the planet. Every purchase plants a tree," appealing to consumers' emotions and desire to contribute to environmental causes. Discourse analysis would investigate how this language positions the brand as socially responsible and encourages consumers to align with its ethical values. 3. Consistency and brand voice. Consistency in language and tone across all communications is crucial for reinforcing brand identity. Discourse analysis explores how a consistent brand voice is maintained through marketing, customer service interactions, and internal communications, helping to build trust and recognition. Example: a luxury brand might consistently use elegant and sophisticated language, such as timeless elegance for the discerning individual, across all platforms, from social media to product descriptions. Discourse analysis would examine how the brand's choice of refined language contributes to its identity as exclusive, high-end, and aspirational. 4. Values and social responsibility. Brands often build their identity around specific values, such as sustainability, innovation, or inclusivity. Discourse analysis focuses on how these values are communicated through language, particularly in corporate social responsibility, CSR, efforts and public messaging. Example: a tech company might emphasize innovation with phrases like, "pioneering tomorrow's technology today," positioning itself as a forward-thinking, cutting-edge leader in the industry. Discourse analysis would explore how this language reflects the brand's commitment to innovation and how it aligns with consumer expectations for technological leadership. 5. Cultural resonance and target audience. Brand identity is also shaped by how well the brand's language resonates with its target audience and the broader cultural context. Discourse analysis investigates how brands use language to connect with specific demographics, reflect cultural trends, or align with social movements. Example: a youth-oriented fashion brand might use casual, slang-infused language in its advertisements, like, "Stay fresh, stay bold," to appeal to younger consumers. Discourse analysis would explore how the brand's language reflects contemporary youth culture and how it positions itself as trendy and relevant to its target demographic. 6. Visual and linguistic interplay. Brand identity is often constructed not just through language but through a combination of language and visuals, e.g., logos, color schemes, imagery. Discourse analysis can examine how text and visual elements work together to create a cohesive brand identity. Example: a cosmetic brand might pair the phrase, "beauty that empowers," with images of diverse models, reflecting values of inclusivity and empowerment. Discourse analysis would look at how the interplay of language and imagery reinforces the brand's identity as inclusive and empowering, appealing to consumers who value diversity. 7. Slogans and taglines. Slogans and taglines are key linguistic elements that encapsulate a brand's identity in a concise, memorable phrase. Discourse analysis examines how these slogans use language to convey the core values, promises, or personality of the brand. Example: Nike's slogan, "Just Do It," conveys a sense of empowerment, action, and motivation, aligning with the brand's identity as one that champions athleticism, perseverance, and self-improvement. Discourse analysis would explore how the slogan's simplicity and directness create an emotional connection with consumers, encouraging them to associate the brand with action and success. Methods for analyzing brand identity in discourse. 1. Critical discourse analysis, CDA. Critical discourse analysis, CDA, is used to explore how brand identity reflects broader societal ideologies, power relations, and social norms. CDA focuses on how language in branding may reinforce or challenge dominant cultural narratives, and how brands position themselves within these discourses. Example: a luxury brand that emphasizes exclusivity and status might use language that reinforces class distinctions, positioning its products as for the elite few. CDA would analyze how this language reflects and reinforces societal hierarchies of wealth and privilege, shaping the brand's identity as one that caters to affluent consumers. 2. Frame analysis. Frame analysis examines how brands frame specific issues, products, or values to construct a particular identity. This method focuses on how language highlights certain aspects of the brand while downplaying others, shaping how consumers interpret the brand's image. Example: a fast food brand might frame its offerings as fresh and wholesome, despite being part of an industry typically associated with unhealthy food. Frame analysis would explore how the brand uses language to shift the focus from fast food's negative connotations to a more health-conscious identity. 3. Narrative analysis. Narrative analysis looks at how brands use storytelling to build their identity and engage with consumers. This method focuses on how brands construct narratives about their history, mission, or products that resonate with consumers' values and desires. Example: a beauty brand might tell the story of how its founder started in a small kitchen, crafting organic products by hand, using language like, "from humble beginnings to global impact." Narrative analysis would explore how this story connects with consumers' values of authenticity and craftsmanship, building the brand's identity as natural and personal. 4. Genre analysis. Genre analysis examines the specific genres of communication, e.g., advertisements, social media posts, press releases, used to construct brand identity. This method focuses on how language conventions within these genres align with the brand's overall message and identity. Example: in a series of Instagram posts, a fitness brand might use motivational language like, "crush your goals," alongside images of people working out. Genre analysis would examine how the informal, direct language typical of social media platforms contributes to the brand's identity as energetic, empowering, and community-oriented. Examples of brand identity in discourse analysis. Example 1. Social responsibility in corporate messaging. A coffee brand might emphasize its ethical sourcing practices with language like, "every cup of coffee you drink supports sustainable farming and fair trade." Discourse analysis would explore how this language constructs a brand identity that aligns with ethical consumption, appealing to consumers who value sustainability and social responsibility. Example 2. Innovation and technology in marketing. A smartphone company might describe its new product as a revolutionary leap forward in mobile technology, using language that frames the brand as a leader in innovation. Discourse analysis would examine how terms like revolutionary and leap forward position the brand as cutting edge, reinforcing its identity as a technological pioneer. Example 3. Inclusivity and diversity in branding. A clothing brand might use slogans like "style for every body," accompanied by images of models of different sizes, ethnicities, and abilities. Discourse analysis would explore how this language and imagery work together to construct a brand identity centered on inclusivity and diversity, appealing to a wide range of consumers. Example 4. Heritage and tradition in luxury branding. A luxury watch brand might emphasize its long history with phrases like, crafting timepieces of distinction since 1884, using language that highlights tradition, heritage, and craftsmanship. Discourse analysis would investigate how this language reinforces the brand's identity as one rooted in timeless quality and exclusivity, appealing to consumers who value history and prestige. Example 5. Youth culture and trendiness in social media. A trendy fashion brand might use informal language and slang in social media posts, such as, "Stay lit with our new collection, only the bold need apply." Discourse analysis would explore how this language appeals to a younger, fashion-forward audience, constructing a brand identity that aligns with youth culture and self-expression. Challenges in analyzing brand identity through discourse. 1. Ambiguity and flexibility. Brand identities are often fluid and can shift over time to respond to market trends or crises. Discourse analysts must navigate the ambiguity and flexibility in brand messaging to understand how a brand's identity is constructed across different contexts. 2. Multimodality. Brand identity is shaped by both language and visual elements, e.g., logos, colors, fonts, requiring discourse analysts to account for the multimodal nature of branding. Understanding how these elements work together is crucial for a comprehensive analysis. 3. Target audience and cultural sensitivity. Brand identity is often tailored to specific audiences, and discourse analysts must be sensitive to how language resonates differently across cultural or demographic groups. Analyzing brand identity involves understanding the broader cultural and social context in which the brand operates. Conclusion. Brand identity is a powerful tool for companies to differentiate themselves in the marketplace, connect with consumers, and communicate their values. Through discourse analysis, researchers can examine how language constructs, reinforces, or challenges brand identity in advertising, marketing, and corporate communications. By analyzing the narratives, rhetorical strategies, and linguistic choices that define a brand's voice, discourse analysis reveals the underlying ideologies and cultural values that shape how brands are perceived. Understanding the role of language in brand identity offers valuable insights into how companies position themselves in the market, build consumer loyalty, and navigate the complexities of social and cultural engagement. Frequently asked questions. What is brand identity in the context of discourse analysis? Brand identity in discourse analysis refers to how a company's language shapes its perception by consumers and stakeholders. It encompasses values, personality, and storytelling elements in corporate communication that set a brand apart. Why is analyzing brand identity important? Analyzing brand identity helps reveal how companies use language to craft their image, build emotional connections with consumers, convey values, and maintain relevance. It also uncovers the linguistic strategies that align brands with cultural norms and consumer expectations. How does narrative construction contribute to brand identity? Brands use storytelling to convey their origins, mission, and values, fostering emotional connections. For instance, a brand might emphasize a founder's humble beginnings to project authenticity. Discourse analysis examines how these narratives position the brand and resonate with audiences. What are rhetorical strategies in brand identity? Rhetorical strategies in brand identity include appeals to emotion, pathos, logic, logos, and credibility, ethos. An eco-friendly brand might use pathos by saying, "Join us in protecting our planet," appealing to consumers' desire to make an impact. Discourse analysis studies how these strategies reinforce brand values and influence perception. Why is consistency in brand voice significant? A consistent brand voice builds trust and recognition. For instance, a luxury brand maintaining an elegant tone across all platforms strengthens its identity as high-end. Discourse analysis explores how linguistic choices across communications maintain brand consistency. How do brands reflect values through language? Brands emphasize their values through strategic language choices. A tech company might use terms like pioneering and cutting edge to highlight innovation. Discourse analysis investigates how such language aligns with brand identity and consumer expectations. What role do slogans play in brand identity? Slogans encapsulate a brand's core message and identity in a few words. For example, Nike's Just Do It emphasizes action and empowerment, resonating with athletes. Discourse Analysis explores how the simplicity and directness of slogans create powerful associations with the brand. How do brands align with cultural trends in their language? Brands use culturally relevant language to appeal to specific demographics and reflect social movements. For instance, a fashion brand might use slang or pop culture references to engage with younger audiences. Discourse Analysis examines how these linguistic choices create cultural resonance. How do language and visuals interact in brand identity? Brand identity often combines language with visual elements like logos and images. A slogan paired with inclusive imagery reinforces messages of diversity and empowerment. Discourse Analysis considers how this multimodality contributes to a coherent brand image. What challenges arise in analyzing brand identity through discourse? Challenges include navigating the ambiguity in evolving brand messages, analyzing multimodal elements, text and visuals, and understanding cultural nuances that affect how brand language is perceived by different audiences. Can discourse analysis reveal hidden ideologies in brand communication? Yes, methods like critical discourse analysis, CDA, can uncover how brand language may reinforce societal norms or power structures, such as exclusivity in luxury branding or sustainability in CSR discourse. What methods are used to analyze brand identity in discourse? Critical discourse analysis, CDA, examines how brand language reflects ideologies. Frame analysis investigates how language frames brand messaging. Narrative analysis explores storytelling techniques in brand communications. Genre analysis studies how different communication formats align with brand voice.